Good morning, students. Hope you all are well. So today we are going to discuss some of the infectious disease. So the first one is amoebiasis or amoebic dysentery. So amoebiasis is also known as the amoebic dysentery, and it is actually the intestinal illness. So the parasite that causes this amoebiasis is a protozoan, and the name is Entamoeba histolytica. So entamoeba is amoeboid, almost amoeboid in shape, with a single nucleus. So it has its two forms, trophozoite form and the pre-cystic form. So how the infection occurs, or how this occurs? So this parasite or the entamoeba, it infect the upper part of the colon. So inside the intestine, it feeds on some of the bacteria, and it causes the frequent diarrhea and constipation in human body. And it attacks or it invades the intestinal wall, and after that it destroys the mucosal lining of the intestinal wall, that causes ulcers in the intestinal wall. So when these ulcers develop, it releases blood and mucus that generally comes out with the stool, and that causing acute amoebic dysentery. Now what is the mode of transmission of this parasite? So this disease generally spread through the contaminated water and food. Okay, so this is generally spread through the contaminated water and food, and also with raw vegetables, okay, that have the cyst inside them, that have the cyst inside this raw vegetables, food and water. So the infected person pass the cyst with their stool, and the cysts are deposited. Who deposit this cyst in this raw vegetables and food? The flies. So this cysts are deposited by the flies on the food or the contaminated water, or sometimes also on the green vegetables. Okay, so let's see what are the symptoms of amoebiasis. Blood and mucus in the stool, that is a main symptom, and it also develops abdominal pain, nausea, headache, all this. Next, what is the treatment of amoebiasis? Or what are the preventive? First is what are the preventive measure, and then what is the treatment of this amoebiasis. So we have to wash our hand before handling any kind of foods and taking meals. Protection of food and water from the flies and cockroach, so that there is no such contamination through the cyst. Proper disposal of the sewage and human feces. Raw vegetables should be soaked in potassium permanganate before use, so that it can die, the parasite can die. And what is the treatment? So some antibiotics we can use as a medicine, like fumagillin, tetramycin, all this. So the next one is ascariasis. Ascariasis is caused by the roundworm, that is Ascaris lumbricoides. So they are generally present, or they generally live in the small intestine of humans, and especially it is found in case of children. Now let's see what is the life cycle of this ascariasis or Ascaris lumbricoides, or how it get transmitted. So humans get this infection by taking Ascaris egg with contaminated raw vegetables, food and water. So when these eggs are reach on the host intestine, after some hours, or after in few hours, these eggs hatched, and it develops a very small and tiny larvae, and at that time they call the juvenile. Okay. After some time it develops into adult worm, and the adult worm has the cylindrical body with the tapering ends, and it also has, only in case of male, it has a carved portion that is known as the pineal seta. Okay, so in male it has one structure that is known as pineal seta. This female ascaris can deposit about 2 lakh eggs daily. So the eggs have the shell and they come out of the host body along with the fishes of the host. They contaminate the food, water and raw vegetables, right? So the larva may penetrate the mucous membrane of the intestine, and they enter into our circulatory system, and after that it will carry into the liver and heart. So the eggs are the food are contaminated with eggs, and the larvae can penetrate the mucosal lining of our intestinal wall, and after that they enter into our portal system and they carry it to the liver and the heart, and after that finally it reaches the lung, where it comes out into the pharynx with the help of trachea, and from the pharynx it enter into our alimentary canal, and that causes the infection. So now let's see what are the effects on the host and what are the control measures of this roundworm. So when a few worms are present in the human body, then it develops a mild infection. But whenever there is a large number of these roundworms are present in our intestine, so it affects the host very much. It develops heavy infection like severe abdominal pain, abdominal discomfort, indigestion, gastric ulcers, development of diarrhea with vomiting, and sometimes fever. So what are the control measures? Disposal of human feces by underground sewage system or in the safe place. Protect the food from dust and flies. Children should ask to wash their hand carefully and properly before handling any kind of food. And the adult worms can be removed by the mixture of oil of Chenopodium and tetrachloroethylene. So we can use this kind of things for the treatment of this roundworm.